This next concept is one of the most powerful and also maybe the trickiest one to learn. It's the concept of the container's layout mode property. If we take a look at this container here, for instance, let's make this a bit bigger, we're going to explain first of all the simplest layout mode, which is absolute. So what that means is if I take a widget and stick it in here, I can then nudge that around here. I'm using my arrow keys on my keyboard. You can nudge just to the nearest pixel and it will remain fixed in that absolute position. So all widgets that I drag in here will remain fixed relative to the top left coordinate, the top left of that container. However, absolute mode containers are pretty well useless when it comes to adaptive layout responsive design. And for those we want to look to the either vertical mode or horizontal mode. So this container in the middle here is set to vertical mode. What that means is all of the child elements, so widgets and containers, that are contained by it will stack vertically relative to one another. So there's a container inside this parent container. So that can't be dragged to the nearest pixel. It can just be pushed up and down the stack of widgets inside that vertical container. And what we'll see in a moment is that that means that as elements resize within them, it pushes things down. That helps the adaptive nature of a container and therefore the page. So that's vertical mode. We'll be looking at that in a little bit more detail in a moment. But let's take a look at horizontal mode as well. The difference between vertical and horizontal is that the child elements, in this case the child elements are these three containers here, these stack horizontally next to one another rather than vertically. So the one I've got selected here at the moment containing the image, if I move that up and down, it's actually going left and right. And what then happens is, as for instance containers change their size, and we'll see different ways of making them change their size, but as that happens it will push any neighboring containers underneath. So let's for instance resize this. You can see now that's getting to the edge, the one on the right, and now it pushes down. I pull it back and there it comes. So we'll be looking in more detail at how we can actually exploit these properties in a later video.